The 529 is the tax advantaged account that you can start on or on behalf of your child or grandchild for the specific purpose of benefiting and paying for college, with the advantage that after the dollars go in, they grow tax-free.
Peter, good to see you. Welcome back, everyone. This video is for all of the generous grandparents out there. We're going to talk through how to use the 529 grandparent loophole to maximize college savings. For the first time this year, the 24-25 FAFSA students are no longer required to report cash gifts from a grandparent or contributions to a grandparent-owned 529 savings plan. That means grandparents can now use that 529 to fund a grandchild's education without impacting their financial aid eligibility. And a real quick stat, Peter, according to a recent study, half of Americans don't even know what a 529 is, and fewer than a quarter have one. What is a 529?
Well, less than 2% of high school athletes get scholarships. So has your student athlete or student started their 529? Have you started that 529 for your student yet? The 529 is the tax advantaged account that you can start on or on behalf of your child or grandchild for the specific purpose of benefiting and paying for college, with the advantage that after the dollars go in, they grow tax-free. So it is a fantastic opportunity. I love the term tax-free. Whenever we can take advantage of anything that allows me to use that term, we try to figure out how to do it and how much of it. So this is one of those examples where if we can have some opportunity to have tax-free dollars or tax-free growth, let's figure out what it's for and how to take advantage.
Okay, so let's just talk through those benefits a little bit more, the benefits of a 529, Peter.
Yeah, well, again, the tax advantages, you put the money in, you've paid tax on the seed money, but as long as it's used for qualifying educational expenses, then the growth and the withdrawals are tax-free. And every financial institution has its own state's plan that it uses, and every state has their own plan, but plans can be used across the board. So it is not exclusive that you must use the state's plan that your child or children go to school in. The Nebraska plan can be used in North Carolina or vice versa. It does not matter. They across state lines can be used and utilized. Anyone can open a 529 account and contribute to them. The owner can stay in control of the account. The beneficiary gets the benefit of it. The person whose name is on the account would be the child or grandchild. They are transferable amongst siblings or family members. So let's say the oldest sibling does not end up needing or using all of those college earmarked dollars, then it can be transferred on to the younger siblings or vice versa, or even after all kids are done, back up to parents if you want to further your education and take some night classes or get some degrees or certificates or something. And private education, also K through 12 private education, up to $10,000 per year can be used out of those 529 accounts. So they've really loosened the definition of what those exclusive educational expenses are. It can be tuition, it can be room and board, it can be books, even off-campus housing these days can be qualified as and can utilize and benefit from the tax-free growth in a 529 account.
Right. So even if your kid gets a full ride, there's still many more expenses that come with college.
And for scholarships, you can actually remove matching dollars. So there's some benefit still that is not lost that could be realized. And then I think we'll probably talk about the biggest improvement to the 529s in just a moment if you do have dollars left over.
Yes, stay tuned for that. Good tease, Peter. But first, I want just to talk through a little bit more the 529 grandparent loophole. We heard about it a few years ago. This is the first year it's effective, but I do think there were some grandparents who were hesitant to start a 529 for fear that it would compromise the grandchild's ability to get financial aid.
Yeah, and we'll probably talk about this or similar subject around April or May as schools are graduating for the summer, and then again August, September, October as we are getting into FAFSA season. But the on the application for student aid, you have to account for the assets. And if the assets are the income of the household, meaning the house that the potential student applying is in, or even ancillary assets that could be used for their benefit that are outside of the direct household, like from grandparents, could count against them. Well, now grandparent assets don't. So this is a kind of a unique reversal of sorts, because a lot of times grandparents are trying to gift and get assets out of their name and out of their control and give it down to younger generations, children or grandchildren, which we're not completely reversing here, because we're still earmarking accounts for the children or the grandchildren with the grandparent exemption, obviously the grandchildren's purpose and sake. But there's something to be said for maybe gifting up through an account owned by those grandparents, so that those assets don't count against a child or grandchild when they are applying for that student aid. So again, an account that is owned by a grandparent for the benefit of a grandchild. Now those assets nor gifts from those grandparents, which in 2025 is now up to $19,000 per year, can be gifted to anyone and everyone, as many people as someone likes, without counting if we are looking at how this is going to apply to that FAFSA exemption, or even the lifetime gift exemption, the annual gift exemption. So there's ways to take advantage here that are maybe something to consider the direction of the flow of money, because even parents now may want to be considering gifting up into a grandparent-owned account.
Right, right. Okay, so now let's get to what we consider one of the most attractive perks of the 529 plan, which changed after the passage of the Secure Act 2.0, which is that unused money in these 529. So still and yet, if that child doesn't use all of the money in the 529, the unused money can be turned into a Roth IRA, giving that grandchild a leg up on retirement.
Yeah, up to $35,000 is the current limit, and if the account has been open for at least 15 years. So there are some limitations here, but the best part about this, I think this really, really improved the 529, because kind of as a last resort, if there was no educational purpose left for these dollars, then you lose the tax benefit, the benefit of all of that tax-free growth and withdrawals. If you just wanted to take the money back out, that was going to be a taxable event. And we didn't want to lose that tax benefit. So now with this addition, the government has allowed us not to lose that tax benefit, but to repurpose those dollars. So it was purposed for educational expenses and the growth was tax-free. Now up to $35,000 can just simply be shuffled and repurposed for retirement purposes, and still all of the growth and all of the withdrawals, as long as they meet the regular requirements for Roth, end up being tax-free for that child or grandchild beneficiary. So it's a great way, once education is paid for, to give that same child a big kind of head start for retirement planning, and a consideration that even after education is done, maybe there is a use for those 529 accounts. Like, don't just close them out all the way, because if we can gift into them and then repurpose those dollars, earmarking and giving that child incentive to hold on to those investments until retirement age, that's a long time for some powerful tax-free growth.
Right. Absolutely. Glad we got to talk this through. If there's a grandparent who is interested in learning more about it, Peter, what's the best way to reach you?
Give me a call, 919-300-5886, 919-300-5886. And I'm happy to walk through helping to open up those 529 accounts. They're not something that I necessarily have to manage on an ongoing basis, because they're pretty much on autopilot. But like you said, to start with, Erin, like, a lot of people still don't even know what the 529 is. Even if they do know, maybe not sure how to open one. So please, if you're in either of those categories, or if you do know, but just want to talk it through, like give me a call. We'll talk it through for the purpose of furthering education. I am here as a resource. Give me a call, 919-300-5886, 919-300-5886, or online, richonplanning.com is what it looks like, richonplanning.com.
All right, Peter, thanks for your time today.
Thank you. Hey folks, Peter Richon here with Richon Planning. So glad that you are enjoying the podcast, Planning Matters Radio. You know, one of the tools that we've put out there that people really seem to appreciate and really are finding of value is at 919retired.com. It is your retirement tax bill calculator. If you've got any kind of retirement account, your tax deferred, 401k, or IRA, this is the website, this is the resource where you can go, you can plug in your own numbers, your information, you can slide the tool calculator up and down for your tax rate or your amount of savings and see what your tax bill is likely to be if you default and defer to the IRS's plan versus what you could potentially bring that tax bill down to. A lot of times it is a very significant savings. So if you have not yet, go to the website 919retired.com, run your numbers on the retirement tax bill calculator.
This has been Planning Matters Radio.
The content of this radio show is provided for informational purposes only and is not a solicitation or recommendation of any investment strategy. You are encouraged to seek investment, tax, or legal advice from an independent professional advisor. Any investments and/or investment strategies mentioned involve risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, a registered investment advisor.
Fiduciary duty extends solely to investment advisory advice and does not extend to other activities such as insurance or broker-dealer services. Advisory clients are charged a quarterly fee for assets under management, while insurance products pay a commission, which may result in a conflict of interest regarding compensation.